Welcome back, everybody. So we're back for another episode of Gaming by the Letter. We're on the letter I? Yeah, the letter I. So we're on the letter I, and we're using the archive.org's gaming library. So basically, they have a bunch of the Atari games, most of them, I think, available for emulation streaming. Just go on the website, and you can play them with your keyboard. I'm using the C64 Minis joystick because it's USB. It's similar to the Atari 2600. So this is just a way for me to try out games that I want for the 2600. I don't want to collect them all. I collect video games that I like to play that are good. And I never had a 2600, so none of them are really a nostalgic factor for me. It is either I want them because they're good, and I want to have Atari games that are good to play, or maybe they're one of my favorite like movie franchise or stuff like that, and I just want it for that reason. So other than that, I'm just trying to find games that are good. Figured what's the best way to do that? Then try them out, and this way, if you're watching, if you also want to try out the game, you don't got to find the ROM or emulation setup. It's right here. It's easy to try. So that's why we're doing it this way versus like an emulator or something like that. And I would imagine if the games aren't on this website, they're probably not that good to try out. So if I'm wrong and there's one that's missing for each letter, let me know. So right off the bat, we have I Want My Mummy. Now I'm going to try to stay away from ultra rare games that are basically hard to get, not worth paying for, or prototypes. If I accidentally play one by accident, it is what it is. I'll find out when I go to look into it if I want it, that it's expensive, and it's a pass. So, let's get started. First of all, we're playing the game I Want My Mummy. I imagine that I just need to go up and watch out for those monsters. So, let's try it out. Okay, take these little things. Oh, yep, they do something. The great thing about the Atari is there's literally one button. So, you can't really, mess up the controls. And that's kind of the thing I like about these old games is, really, you don't gotta worry about a tutorial. Oh, I can't get up. I bet you I have to do them all. Or kill all these people, but I don't know how to do that one. So, right off the bat, I have to say, it's not a... I died. Okay, it's not a really intuitive game. The art cover's pretty cool. I Want My Mummy, the little teddy bear. But other than that... This is one of those games, if you had it as a kid, and it was your only game, you probably really enjoyed it. Playing now, since there's so many thousands of games available, you kind of have to play what you really like. And maybe some games are good, it's just not your style of play, then, you gotta pass on it. And for me, this is looking like a pass. I like to explore it, but it's not going to be one of my games to play. It's not bad, but it's just so slow paced that if it was my only game, I probably would play this a lot as a kid. But not now. So we're going to move on to the next game. And what's the next game? We have ice hockey. Great. I don't mind sports games. I like some of the 8-bit sports games as some of my favorites, but it's hockey. Nothing against hockey, but hockey on the Atari 2600. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't look too bad. Kind of looks like, I'm playing on the street or in the parking lot. Kind of like good old street hockey, but yeah, that's that. So yeah, so this is hockey, for the Atari 2600, and as you can see, it's not the best for me. So we're gonna move on. If you like hockey and you've never played this for the Atari 2600 and you like the Atari 2600, yeah, you can try it on this website. We're gonna move to the next game. Ooh. Okay, so the one problem with this website sometimes is not all the games are available. For every letter, I've noticed it's like 1 or 2. Sometimes it's a little bit more, but it's 1 or 2. This one's sad because I really like that cover. That looks awesome. Or manual cover, anyways. I played the Atari Warriors for the arcade. I do like those titles of games, so it probably would have been fun to try out. But we gotta move on. Okay, Inca Gold. Well, not much of a manual. So, gold coins will come from any direction. Little man has to avoid not hidden by the gold coins. Oh, you don't want to get hit by the gold coin? Player has to press on his controller the action button to enable little man to jump. The game lasts 2 rounds, which will be repeated automatically. Every time when the player reaches a new round, he'll receive bonus scores. Okay, so I'm getting some Donkey Kong vibes here. Okay, let's see what it is. I like Donkey Kong, right? Everybody likes Donkey Kong, I hope. If not, oh, okay. That's your thing. Okay, so don't want to get hit by those. His jumping isn't bad. I mean, it's a little awful. Okay, we got that guy up there. And I just fell. So how long do you think you can play a game before you know that you're not going to like it? Because for me, I can tell right off the bat. You know, sometimes games have a bad first level, and that happens. So if a game has a bad first level, or, you know, if you just give it a little bit more time, it kind of comes to its own. Let me know in the comments if I just don't get into a game right away, because maybe not so much for the Atari, because I think the Atari, it's a little bit easier to tell. But when we get to, like, NES, sometimes the first level just is not a good representation. And I've played games where it's like, you get to the 3rd level and you're like, oh, the game's good. Or you get to the 3rd level and you're like, alright, I'm just going to keep playing the 1st and 2nd level. The 3rd level is not fun. Alright, I can't handle the flippiness of these guys. So, Inca Gold. That is a pass for me. It could have its fans, but it's not my style of game. I do like Donkey Kong, so I do like that, but this isn't failing it. So let's move on. The next game we have on our list is Indy 500. Now, it's not available. Okay, so what I was going to say is I do like driving games. I'm a fan of them, especially the older ones where it's just a little bit more fun just to play. But it's not there. So let's see if the manual has a picture of what it looks like. Wow. Wow, yeah. I mean, I like Super Off-Road. I do. But I need a little bit more than that. I'm probably... As a kid, it probably wasn't a bad representation of your arcade games, but let's move on. Alright, another good cover. We got Infiltrate. I like it. That's a great cover. Okay. Looks nothing like it. Let's see what the situation is. You are a secret agent on a mission to a crucial importance. Your mission is to infiltrate a top-secret fortress. You must capture the enemy documents and get out alive. Your challenge, diabolical maze of corridors and elevators designed to confuse you and keep you from your documents. Your danger, the enemy assassins programmed to shoot on sight. Your weapons, a high-powered laser gun, as powerful as the enemy. Your advantage, the sharp enough to duck when the shot. Okay. 1 or 2 players. Difficulty switch. Hold your controller. I mean, it seems pretty accurate here. What we got to do. Let's do this. Wow, look at that. All they could do is make him a white, you know, they couldn't give me a black hat? Okay. Man, he moves fast. I mean, I was just talking about how I like games that have a decent amount of speed to the character. He controls well. He just moves across that screen a little too many feet for me. Okay, we'll go up here. Shoots pretty nicely. Okay, we got him. Get out. Alright, I just want to get to the next level or section before I make my decision. But I'm feeling like... Okay, I got my documents. I think I got my documents. And I think now I gotta get back down there. Oh. Ah, he got me. Alright, so it doesn't take me playing this anymore to realize that it's not a bad little game, but it's not going to hold me to want to own it or even come back to play it. If I was at a friend's house and they wanted to play it real quick for some fun, I'd play it, but I would never go out of my way to play it. So let's go on to the last letter of the alphabet. Well, last I of this row. Soccer. I'm hoping it's not there. Ah, it's there. Okay. So, controlling them. Use the left controller for the yellow team. Use the right joystick to the red team. All right. Pass the ball. I mean, this seems pretty self-explanatory. Hopefully, let's see how this goes. I mean, surprisingly, it feels like soccer. There we go. Except I want to go the other direction. Ah, got it. I kicked it away. I mean, the AI is horrible. But I do feel like I'm playing soccer. Like, honestly, if I was a kid back then and I loved soccer, this isn't bad. It represents soccer pretty well. I mean, yeah, look at the squares and everything, but you feel like you're playing soccer. And I think it froze. It passes to the player pretty well. Oh, look at that bounce. Now if I can just get it in, we'll pass off the wall, it's like Pong. Oh no, I passed it to the goalie. I don't think I can go in here. Okay, I can. And, okay, so the game's really easy. There's probably difficulty switches to make it a little bit more difficult, but you know what? Not bad for a soccer game. I'm never going to come back to it, but it plays like soccer if that's what you're looking for. Alrighty, buddy. So that's the end of I. That was quick, but that's what there were. The only one I would want to try again is the Atari Warriors, and that's about it. Hockey is a no. I Want My Mummy, not really. So I just need to try Atari Warriors, I guess. But other than that, there's nothing on the letter I. Letter I is disappointing. If there's a game that's not on this list that did come up for the letter I, that is available to buy for the Atari back in the day, let me know so I can check it out. But from what they have on their website, there's nothing for me. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. If there's a game here that you like or that I should try, leave a comment. Let me know. And catch you on the next letter.